AHRA Series is heading north again to Edmonton, Alberta for its inaugural trip to Budweiser Motorsports Park, and everybody is excited. Clay Millican has already set the track record in his Top Fuel dragster, and the fans showed their appreciation. Will Clay be all smiles and win his 4th straight, or will another Top Fueler leave him in the dust? And all eyes will be on the Stott brothers as they continue their family feud. IHRA is ready to rock the house. Welcome back to Canada for the Hooters IHRA Drag Racing Series. Yes, once again, we're back across the border for the second of 3 times here in 2003 as we truly represent the International Hot Rod Association. It's the Rocky Mountain Nationals presented by GM Goodrich. And we've got an incredible show for you, including Top Fuel and Pro Mod. I'm Ken Stout, Jim Marchison standing alongside, and it's nice to be here at Bud Park.
It is. The fans have been waiting for this event for almost a year. It's been front page news on the media, on the TV, and the newspapers, so there's nothing more to really be said. Let's go racing. Top Fuel, Pro Mod, as IHRA rocks Canada and speed.
Boy, as you can see, the sun just shining, absolutely gorgeous day, and with a 3rd member of our team down in the Top Fuel section, let's go to Kathy Fisher.
Bruce Litton has been running against Clay Millican for a very long time, so if anybody knows what it's going to take to boot Clay out in #1, it's got to be Bruce Litton. So what's it going to be?
The quickest way to beat Clay Millican would be to steal his truck or kidnap Culper. They're actually truly the best team out here, and they're on top of the game. Clay's a good driver, Culper's a good tuner, and they got a great crew. So that's what's put them there, and to beat them, we're actually had to do the same thing. We've got a good tuner, and Doug Cook does a good job, and my crew works hard. They just because we're in 2nd place, and we're not working hard, and we're going to continue to stay after it, and we'll take each round at a time, and hopefully we can get him.
Well, I'll tell you what, he came as close as anybody could come to winning a championship and not win one. I mean, just in a plethora of finals 1 year ago. It's finished 3rd and finished 2nd, but has yet to claim that big dog prize, and he's still fighting hard. He's just an awesome individual, Bruce Litton. Here's a look at our ladder, Jim.
Yeah, we've got Millican against Doc Sipple, Todd Payton against Mr. Magoo, Don Sasenka, Litton against Allison, and Jack Ostrander against Grant Flowers, which is the race we see right here, right now. Pontiac Jack, 2 cars in the field today, going to also try to qualify Louis Allison. And Grant Flowers, Amalie Oil sponsors, getting more money. He feels more confident, thinks he can compete with the big boys. He was the runner-up at Grand Bend. Let's see what he can do here today in Edmonton.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment for Pontiac Jack and Louis Allison, both cars in the show. And they've been trying to qualify both cars there for a couple times this year and finally got it done. Both of them pulling up to the starting line. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, round #1 of Top Fuel.
It's a beautiful day.
Oh, man, a huge explosion there for Jack. First one across the line, though. 5:15 will be the ET for him. But, man, talk about a fire. That was definitely a big ball of fire.
That was the mother of all explosions. There's some serious damage there. They both look like they got off the line a little bit late, but Grant got out there a little bit more. You can see him fishtailing as well. There's that fireball there. That is not good. Look at that damage.
Yeah, there's the results of it right here. You can see oil literally everywhere. And, of course, if you put oil down on the track, it is a penalty.
15 points, and as you can see, there are diapers and restraints to keep the oil in the engine if there is indeed an oil down, and the IHRA team always does a great job getting the track cleaned up. What do we got here?
What a shame. If Bruce Litton was to race Louis Allison, looks like it's not going to happen. Louis Allison having some problems. As we take a look at the points here in Top Fuel, Clay Millican on top as he's won every single race this year, of course, followed by Bruce Litton, and Don Sasenka will round out the top 10. Congrats to all those guys staying in the top 10 this year. And Bruce Litton will get a bye run, what's called a competition bye run, because Louis not able to make the call. And Bruce Litton with a couple of new sponsors on the side of the car, Stoops Freightliner.
And Canada's Global Power. It's great to see a large Canadian company support Hooters drag racing. Shows how far we've come up here, Ken.
That's great news. Hey, Mike Wolforth walking back after he watched Bruce make his run. One of the crew chiefs for Bruce Litton, and Doug Cook also helps out the team. And, of course, those guys have a nice look at the track there, courtesy of their competition single. They'll no doubt be ready for round #2. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to finish up round #1 of Top Fuel. Don't go away.
The hottest new accessory every biker wants, a computer mouse. Because Because if you need a part, any part, just give us a click. Or if you want the hottest trim and latest accessories, we're a click away. And as far as helmets, jackets, and other neat stuff, click. If you ride a bike, the shortest distance between you and your motorcycle is right here. CompetitionAccessories.com. Give us a click.
The Thompsons love to change that wall in the living room. They change it and change it. Then Gateway introduced them to the 42-inch plasma TV. It's comfortably priced, actually $200 less than usual. Once again, they get to change that wall in the living room and change it and change it. Call 1-800-GATEWAY. Click, come in, and start enjoying the comforts of Gateway.
Check out Sunday's Winston Cup race from an insider's perspective on Winston Cup Wednesday. Enhanced coverage gets you inside the race teams.
Getting into the race, I really felt like we were going to be pretty good.
Only one network replays Sunday's race.
Trying to do everything we could to keep the car up front.
And only one network brings it to you with this much coverage.
A guy that messes up that many times needs to go back and learn how to drive.
Winston Cup Wednesday, Wednesday nights at 8, exclusively on Speed Channel.
Summit Racing Equipment wants to know, what are you going to build today? We asked Steve Sahaychek to trick out this ratty 69 Camaro. Ready, Steve?
Ready.
Steve calls Summit toll-free, orders parts, talks with their tech guys. Steve can even order parts online at summitracing.com. Slick.
Summit ships in stock parts the day you order.
Thousands of parts at Summit's low prices. Way cool, Steve. Were you happy with Summit's fast service and low prices?
You bet.
Parts, price, service. Summit Racing has the stuff you need to build the stuff you want.
This Hooters IHRA presentation is being brought to you by Carl Chevrolet, the official car and truck dealer of the IHRA. Welcome back. It's time to finish up round number 1 of Top Fuel here in Edmonton, Alberta. Our next pair will feature one of the Canadians, Todd Payton, against Don Sosinka, a pair of funny car racers, or former funny car racers, I should say.
As a matter of fact, Todd had to take the engine out of his funny car from the night under fire at Norwalk last week, put it in the dragster, drive over 2,000 miles just to get here this week. So there's an effort there from Todd Payton and that all-Canadian team.
These guys definitely go all out. Of course, Don Sosinka, Mr. Magoo, has just been doing it forever and ever and ever. And one of those cars that goes from point A to point B every time.
A very likable guy and very consistent. He knows to win, you got to get there, and he'll just run it. He'll do what he has to do, but he won't overextend it. Smart man.
Listen to the sounds of speed. Todd Payton struggling. Looks like he lost some cylinders right at the hit of the throttle, and Sosinka will get a win here with a 556.
Hey, there's Kim Reeves, one of the track owners. She's enjoying her first Top Fuel race ever here at Bud Park.
Let's take another look at this thing. Watch Payton's car on the far side there. You can see that left bank never shot a flame out of the pipes, and nothing but raw fuel. So he had lost that whole left side. There's also some raw fuel on the right side, so problems right off the bat for Todd Payton. And then also, if we watch Sosinka here at a little past half track, you can see the butterflies close.
Yep, and he lost a cylinder too, but he gets the win, and we'll go on to the next round.
That's all that matters, right?
He goes consistent.
A little shrapnel there from Todd Payton's car, and those things are literally bombs when they're not running right. Boy, there's a lot of pressure inside, and they will make room. In qualifying, take a look at this. Clay Millican, all the candles lit there alongside Bruce Litton, and Clay Millican to the other end in a big way. Excellent job. Goes 466, 317 miles an hour, and a track record here at Budweiser Motorsports Park.
Yeah, the fans love it. They're passing him up over the head like at a Pearl Jam concert.
All right, then. Tough Fuel. Here we go. Clay Millican, the two-time champion, well on his way to a third if he continues on like he has at the start of this season, winning every race we've had so far this year. He'll line up alongside John Sippel, and John Sippel's going to try to put a stop to the madness right now.
Well, Doc is sponsored. He's a chiropractor, as you know. He's sponsored by Palmer Chiropractic, where he went to school. And he believes that a chiropractic adjustment can help the body to heal. So maybe he can help the healing process by beating Clay here. Let's see what happens.
He might want to give Clay an adjustment the other direction. John gets out, trying to hang on, not going to get it done though. And look at the Werner team dropping some cylinders as well. And Mike Clover standing there talking on the radio, actually talking to his driver, Clay Millican, of course, the crew chief for Team Werner. Once again, we'll take a look at this thing. Actually, the better reaction time going to Doc Sipple with an 075 light. Great job for John.
Yep, lost power at half track, so he's going to have to go back and heal that engine now.
And running right on down through there. The champ loses some cylinders right there. Let's go to the top with Clay.
Clay, we noticed you guys made a lane change there right at the last minute.
Don't ask me about that. I don't know. I just drive the car, and I try to do a decent job of that. I think I was like a slug on the tree that time. Doc probably tattooed me, but, man, I had to slalom a little bit. Mike's got me driving around a little weird spot out there on the asphalt, and we hadn't been down that left lane not one time, and went right down through there. It was a pretty good run. Clicked it just a touch early. It sounded a little funny shutting off, but you know what? Warner Enterprises, them boys got some Matco 2s. They'll put this baby right back together. Lane change, I have no clue, but it was definitely a mess up there. And we sat there, man, I'm hot, sweating. Need some of this naturally fresh water.
I think what happened was after that Peyton oil down where they lost 15 points was Mike was sitting in the right lane, decided to change lanes to the left.
When we come back, we'll put doors on them, we'll keep blowers, and add nitrous. It's Pro Mod.
Have you ever driven stick before? All right, rev it up to 9,000 and drop the clutch. Good. All right, I want you to hit the apex at this next left. Take it flat out right here. Take this next corner, but don't touch the brake.
Team owner Michael Andretti and 6 Honda drivers are competing in the Indy Racing League.
You just touch the brake. Oh, this is a good drafting opportunity. Tuck in behind her.
See you at the track.
It's Sunday on Speed. First at 7:30 a.m. Start your race day with live Formula One action for the French Grand Prix. Then at 12, see the stars of tomorrow today in the Barber Dodge Pro Series from Laguna Seca. And at 3:30, Scott Pruitt looks to extend his points lead when the Trans Am Race Series takes on Cleveland. That's all this Sunday, only on Speed.
Well, we just don't like the same TV shows.
He likes sports. I like reality shows.
What I really love are action movies.
He wants car chases when we could be watching something romantic.
What about the children? Oh.
When they're not arguing over the internet, they're arguing over who gets to use the remote control.
At Shaw, we have the solution. You can get up to 4 cable outlets and 2 internet connections with Shaw's Total Home Package. Get it today.
When the weather takes a turn for the worse, it's good to have options.
Honey!
Now what are we gonna do?
Why don't we just pop in a video?
We've seen everything a million times!
Hey, should we go to a theater?
Let's see what's on TV.
No matter what Mother Nature has in store for you, Shaw has all the hottest summer programming.
There's so much to choose from.
Spend your summer with Shaw.
No, I race IHRA Pro Modified on Speed. How you doing?
How you doing?
That's funny. You know, you expect to hear, oh, how you doing? Now, you would expect to hear that out of the Northeast, but not necessarily Edmonton. So kind of nice to hear from that. Very colorful characters inside of the category of Pro Mod, and Kathy Fisher has more.
Well, here's a familiar thing. It's always a Stott somehow at the top of Pro Mod. And once again this week, it's Quayne Stott. Quayne, your season didn't exactly start off the way that you would want to, but you've made some drastic changes.
Yeah, it actually started last year bad when we switched this blower deal, because we raced a nitrous car for so many years, and we switched over to the blower deal last year, and we had a long learning curve, and everybody said it'd be a 2-year learning curve, but we got it down to about 1.5 years, I think, now. So it's about time for it to come around, because I'd always tuned nitrous stuff, and I didn't even know how to start this blower car a year ago. So I think we're doing real well, not the more experience than we've had with it.
Well, you've been a bridesmaid so far this year. How would you like to be a bride? What's it going to take to get to that #1 spot in points?
Something that I used to didn't rely on. It's going to take a little bit of luck. I've always said we make our own luck in this sport, and I still believe that, but here lately, it seems like just little things have been biting me. So I'm going to ask for something I don't usually ask for. I'm going to ask for some luck.
Quayne, a very modest guy. As we pick up the action of Pro Mod with round number 2, we'll start off with Carl Spearing, and we spoke with Rick a little bit earlier to feel how he felt about his chances.
I know we probably can't run as fast as them right now. I'm totally confident that we can win if we can keep it together for another 4 or 5 runs and keep going the rate we're going. But I mean, at this point, it's anybody's game. We all know on race day it doesn't matter. You can be a hero 1 minute and 0 the next.
We got Carl Spearing. He's from Ontario at Jordan Station, and another Canadian, Ricky D's over there. So let's see who takes the Pro Mod honors for Canada.
Big Dog runs into quick 8 up there in the Ontario area. And boy, you can just see the blatant quick reaction time there. Rick looking for the stripe here and gets across first. Excellent job. 636, 222 miles an hour for the first ever 1953 Corvette that Tim McAmis ever built.
Yep, I think Carl was in a different time zone there on that start. You can't give the guy that big of a lead.
That's right. Brad Anderson power, Les Davenport fuel system doing a great job. He'll go into round number 3, and we'll continue on here. As we take a look at our ladder, we can see that Rick has moved into the semifinals. We also have Mitch Stott and Dennis Radford.
Yep, and then we got Quayne Stott, Glenn Kerensky, and
Shelby will be in there as well. Yep. Here we go. Quayne Stott, we just spoke to him a moment ago.
Glenn Kerensky, another guy, he's from Edmonton. He's kind of the father of Pro Mod out here in the western part of Canada. Put a group together, and now he's getting a chance to win and race in an IHRA Hooters professional event.
Another 57 Chevrolet. Boy, those things are absolutely gorgeous. They'll line up alongside the 63 split window. And it's showtime here in round number 2. Who's going to the semifinals? Pair of lower cars. 5 light for Quayne Stott.
Small hole shot.
And Quayne gets across the stripe first. 634, 226 miles an hour.
That's the lovely Cynthia, Quayne's better half there. And Kerensky made a good run out of that.
No question about it. Another look here. Both guys going right down the boulevard. 095 light for Quayne, 111 light on the other side for Glenn. Look at that 57, man. That thing is gorgeous.
And that's the essence of Pro Mod. Look at that finish. But that is a beautiful car. That is the essence of Pro Mod. Door slammers. Woo! She's really happy.
By a car length. There you go. Let's take a look at the points here in Pro Mod. Mitch Stott on top at 304, followed by Mike Janis, Al Billis, Quayne Stott, and Billy Harper round out the top 5. Then it's the Iceman, Paul Athey, Quayne's partner, Thomas Patterson, Dale Brensfield, and Fred Hahn round out the top 10. The battle that's always been going on here is blower versus nitrous. Let's take a look.
When the term blown or supercharged is used, what it's referring to is not the injector head up here, but it's referring to the supercharger. And what that is, in essence, is just an air compressor. It's a high volume air compressor, not necessarily high pressure. You have 2 rotors inside that work together, kind of like your knuckles. As they open up, they draw air in, and it circles around, and as they come together, it squeezes the air out.
When we run nitrous oxide, that's a basic gasoline engine, and then we inject nitrous oxide under power to give more horsepower.
The blown cars, which is what we're running now, it's like a big air pump, and it forces air into the engine. So the only air we got to deal with is what's here, what the atmosphere gives us. Now the nitrous car, we could take, and if we was at this particular race with a nitrous car, we could just add nitrous because the air's bad, so we could add the nitrous, which is an oxygen enhancer, and just make up for the bad air. The next thing that a supercharger does is provides a much more accurate mixture of fuel and air. It's less likely to be separated than if it were a carbureted engine just being normally vacuumed in.
We start the car and do our burnout on the basic gasoline. Then when I leave the starting line, we have switches that turns the nitrous on, and then timers continue to put it on going down track. And that injects more gasoline and more nitrous oxide, so we keep adding horsepower as we go down track.
The biggest advantage in a blown situation really is the fact that we burn alcohol, which burns considerably cooler. And the likelihood of burnt pistons or something like that is less likely.
We got tech specs coming up on Pro Modified. We got supercharged, 2,000 horsepower, 527 cubic inches max, 2,700 pounds, fuel, gasoline or methanol.
Yeah, most of them using methanol, and as you can see with the nitrous cars, they're allowed a weight break here, only 2,375 pounds. The motor's a little bit bigger at 716 cubic inches, and once again, gasoline or methanol. And of course, they talked about the bad air. We're about 5,000 corrected altitude above. When we come back, it'll be more Pro Mod action.
You have the ultimate power to look better, to be stronger, to redefine your body and yourself. Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. In as little as 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can get real results that can change your entire body. With over 90 health club quality exercises and up to 410 pounds of resistance, it's like having an entire gym in your home. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video or DVD and check out the entire Bowflex lineup or visit us on the web at bowflexultimate.com today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
Escape the everyday. Adventure. Culture. Science. Nature. National Geographic Today. Experience the ultimate daily news journal that connects you to life on planet Earth. Explore today. National Geographic Today. Weeknights on the National Geographic Channel.
Sunday, Speed Channel Test Drive, Audi S4 and Audi RS6. Cars that combine sculpted lines with gripping performance. Speed Channel Test Drive, Audi S4 and RS6. Sunday at 5, only on Speed.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Amanda.
Welcome back to the Rocky Mountain Nationals.
Presented by GM Goodwrench Service.
Jim, GM Goodwrench Service doing a great job of keeping up with the Hooters girls there. Those girls are lovely, no question. Ron Hodgson, GM Goodwrench representative, spent a little time with us earlier today. It was very nice having him here.
You know, this is an incredible event, and as the Goodwrench dealers of the province of Alberta, we're really happy to be involved. We're incredibly impressed with IHRA, and I think vice versa, they're impressed with our facility and the way that we put things together here. So it's worked out as a great combination. The GM dealers are proud to be involved and associated with IHRA, and I just think the future is going to look brighter and brighter down the road. We've got a 5-year commitment with IHRA, and I think this is a marriage that's just going to live on and on and on.
Jim, as we take a look at the weather here, it's 27 degrees Celsius, which is 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and the track temperature, 43 degrees Celsius, which is 110 degrees. Now, altitude, 2286. If you take those factors and put them all together, including the barometric pressure at a very low, 2745, corrected altitude, 5,000 feet. Less oxygen means less fuel.
This car is probably right now 3/4 of a gallon leaner than it's ever been. And that's the only, on the funny car, you can raise the blower, change gears, and you got things, but all you can do to this thing is you got to free it up. It can't have so much clutch to bog the motor. You got to free it up, and you got to take fuel away from it, and you got to put magneto to it. We haven't heard anything this weekend, but we've been real close a couple passes to, we've took it down as far as we can take it.
Jimmy said, hey, this air's so thin. You see any birds? I don't. That's Jimmy humor.
Dennis Radford on the other side with the Viper. Beautiful car. Also current record holder in competition eliminator A-Pro modified, trying to keep pace with Mitch. Has a great reaction time, but will not get across the stripe first. 6:51 for the private owned team. Gets a lot of help from his family, and his whole crew volunteers. Just a great individual, but it's going to be Mitch that goes into the next round.
Yeah, it's great to have Dennis here. He's a successful trucking industry guy, and he also is the West Coast Pro Mod champion.
That's right, Jim. He's won 6 of 8 finals in 2002. Did a fabulous job. Also, the nitrous mile per hour record holder in the AMS series. As we take a look at this beautiful Viper, hanging tough next to Mitch Stott, of course, also equally impressive looking car. Just a great job for both guys, and sorry he couldn't move on to the next round, but Mitch isn't. Mitch is very happy. Speaking of Mitch, we're going to go to the top end because Kathy Fisher has caught up with Mitch. He always has something very funny to hear from and exciting to say.
You bet.
Mitch?
Doesn't look like he was going to be any match for you, but he definitely went for it on the line.
Well, I mean, I don't know what light he had, but we had a problem with the car up there. I couldn't even get the thing to come up on RPMs. I really didn't even know if it was going to leave a starting line or not. And, man, you talking about mine being off in la-la land somewhere. As soon as I went down on the throttle and the car didn't respond to it, I was like, oh, God, okay, I got to get RPMs. We'll worry about a light later, and by that time the light was on. But, I mean, fortunately, the car did leave a starting line. We had enough record horsepower in it to drive back around and give Radiac another round, another step on that points championship, and we'll see you in the game.
What was that?
About 70 thousandths difference, by the way, at the starting line. And here comes John Shelby. John Shelby won first round by 16 thousandths of a second, so just barely snuck in here. John's been doing this for a very, very long time. Has always had a blue vehicle, blue Pro Mod car for years and years and years, and he'll line up next to Harold Martin. Of course, Harold Martin, his father, always with us as well, Houston, and Houston, a former truck driver for GM.
Well, that 57 Chevy there is beautiful, and it just goes to show the unique look. We got Studebakers, we got 57 Chevys, we got Vipers. That's what makes Pro Mod rock. Whole shot by Martin, he's out. He's cruising.
59 thousandths advantage at the starting line goes to Harold Martin, and he'll get the win. Excellent job on a whole shot. 6:45 beats a 6:43. Margin of victory there, 36 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, in the previous round, Harold had a little engine problem, puff of smoke and some flame. He's obviously got that fixed for this round.
So a couple of close races here for Shelby, and unfortunately will not win this one. Harold Martin certainly very glad. A beautifully sponsored AC Delco machine. So a couple of colorful-looking cars here in Pro Mod. That's what we love about the class.
And
a little variety.
Harold's son, he's happy.
A family effort. Hey, take a look at Scott's car. Beautiful. Hooters painted machine.
Oh, we got Will Sanders. Always a part of what makes IHRA different, makes it rock. Woo!
Yeah, you got to love
all the way down, baby.
I'm Stanley Johnson. I've got a great family. I've got a 4-bedroom house and a great community. Like my car? It's new. I even belong to the local golf club. How do I do it? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. I can barely pay my finance charges. Somebody help me.
Need a smart way to consolidate your debt? At LendingTree.com, banks compete, and you choose the loan that's right for you. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
The show that brings you inside the world of extreme sports.
You guys need a hand there?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long day.
Whenever you need help with your air conditioning,
Got some problems.
wherever you need it, your Bryant dealer will get it to you, whatever it takes.
Friday nights, go trackside.
This is the show of shows.
This is my people right here. Trackside, Friday nights only on Speed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hooters IHRA Drag Racing Series. We're in Edmonton, Alberta, up in Canada. Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Stout. Jim Marchison sitting alongside, and, of course, taking care of the pit duties would be Kathy Fisher, doing a great job for us as well. And Jim, we've always got some great stuff for the folks to buy.
You bet. We got event T-shirts, caps, hats, anything you could want. Buy it at the race or log on to speedtv.com. Go to IHRA, and you can buy it online.
And don't worry, the shirts of all sizes. The racers are large individuals, and we have very large shirts, so we have something for everybody. You can always keep up with all the action of the IHRA by reading Drag Review. It'll keep you up to date on all the stuff. Hey, Bumper to Bumper, they were our sponsor for our Saturday night of fire.
They sure will. They did a great job, and the fans came out. The stands were packed. Here we got some of the West Coast Thunder cars. We've got Top Sportsman cars here.
Yeah, Top Sportsman, the fastest bracket racers in the country. And take a look at the pickup truck they're trying to qualify in Pro Mod. More Pro Mod racers. In fact, they look like one of the Scott brothers there in the right lane. Guys putting on a great show. That is also our final qualifying round.
Yeah, have a Frisbee. Have a Frisbee. Top fuel as always. The first time ever in Edmonton, and it went over big.
Yeah, they love the header flames, no question, and we can't forget about this man.
Oh, no.
What a great run by Clay Milligan. 466, 317 miles an hour, a track record here at Budweiser Motorsports Park. For the crowd welcoming with open arms, and looks like the Mounties. Awesome.
Yeah, the Mounties and the Edmonton Police were racing. We got wheel standards. There's a Honda Jet. That's a Honda Civic by Canadian Brad going down the track. And then the King of Quake. Oh boy, did he light up the sky. Bob Moats, 17,500 horsepower, over 200 miles an hour. Look at him blast into the Canadian twilights.
And of course, we cap it all off with some fireworks. It's a great time. If you get a chance, we'd love to see you come out to one of our Saturday night of fires. Grant Flowers lost in round 1 to Jack Ostrander, but he was the runner-up in Grand Bend. Kathy Fisher's with him.
That had to have been quite a ride, Grant. I mean, you got out about 500 feet. What exactly did you feel?
Well, the clutch was coming in on the car, and about 500 feet it actually lifted the front tires, which is, somewhat normal for these cars when they're making power. It was a relatively soft pass. I saw the front end come up, and I was grinning ear to ear. This is kind of like, a fun ride. And when it came down, I felt the steering wheel jerk away from my hand, so I felt the car break in half. And it was going about 250 miles an hour, so that's a little cause for concern. And you prepare yourself as a driver for this all the time. We sit in the cockpit and we think about the what-if scenarios. You have to do that. So I grabbed a handful of brake and put the chutes out, and I knew if I could get 100 miles an hour out of the car, I thought I would be okay. And within a second, usually, and a second's a long time in one of these things when you're cruising along at that speed, usually you can scrub off 100 miles an hour. But the other problem was, I can see Jack Ostrander on fire in the other lane, and they have fire apparatuses rolling after him to put him out of fire, and I knew I couldn't turn the wheel because it'll break in half, and then we can put it into the wall, and we want to try to save it. So, Robert Bruce, we're on our way to your shop, buddy. You got some work to do, and we'll try to get it ready for a mile and see what we can do.
Boy, bittersweet, kind of torn there. I want to step on the throttle. I see that guy's having problems, but just couldn't do it. It's kind of tough to race on when you can't steer it. As we see the burnouts take place here with Bruce Litton, and Jack Ostrander should be lined up alongside of him. We'll take a look at the ladder, Jim.
Yeah, we've got Milliken against Sasenka and Litton against Jack Ostrander.
Now, we just heard Grant Flowers talk about the big explosion that Jack Ostrander had in round number 1. Unfortunately, Jack not able to make the call here. So as we take a look at Bruce Litton had a singles. He went down in round number 1. We'll also have a competition single here in round number 2. That's the easiest way to get to the finals, man. It'll be his best race of the year so far.
Well, sometimes you gotta have a little luck. Bruce used some. He's earned it. Not a bad run down there for a solo comp.
Yeah, not at all. He took it easy the first time, but now they had a good look at the track. They'll come out here, lay down a decent number. By the way, the number was 497 at 282 miles an hour, and he'll line up for the winner of this pair. This will be Clay Milliken and Don Sasenka. We saw Sasenka put a 5:56 up on the board a little bit earlier, which of course got him to the semifinal round. Let's go to the top, where Bruce Litton will go to his first final in 2003.
Bruce, you make your way into the final round, no matter which way it takes to get there, whether it's a single or what, but you're going to the final.
Yeah, that was a gift, and we're thankful for that. Praise God for that run, and we'll go back and tinker with the Lucas car and see what we got for the next person in the next round. And we don't know who we got yet, but hey, we will give it our best shot.
Oh, it's either going to be Mr. Magoo or Clay Milliken, and you're 497. That's a very respectable run for what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get down the track. It's hot, and that's all you can say about it. So we're just taking it one lap at a time and see what we get.
Now, Clay better not underestimate Sasenka, because he can't win a horsepower battle, but he knows how to get the car down the track, and I wouldn't be taking him lightly.
Yeah, this is definitely the kind of weather that those guys can win a round in, because there's no question that Clay Milliken, Mike Glover could overshoot this track, put too much horsepower to it, and light up the tires.
Yep.
Here we go. It's showtime as they pull up to the pre-stage beam and then stage. Let's listen in to the sounds of speed. Boy, oh boy, check it out, man. Pretty exciting stuff, huh?
That's like a fuel-altered, man, sashaying down that track.
We saw him earlier, too, do the same deal. Actually, a little more violent than that one, but he's used to doing this.
He drives that like a bracket car sometimes. He just goes flying around and whatever. It looks like Sasenka is going to lose a blower belt over there, but he just doesn't have it. But whoa, look at Clay.
And Milliken dropped down some cylinders there as the car was moving around. Let's go to the top and talk to Clay.
Clay, going to a familiar spot, but this time you're not going to have lane choice. Is that going to mean anything?
Well, I would think not, since Bruce went one lane and we went the other anyway. And You know what? It's always a tough deal when you race old Bruce Litton. Those guys are tough, but Werner team, you know what? I got to thank Ron Hodgson that owns the track here, Southgate Pontiac. Man, they give us the coolest ride this weekend, and I'm really enjoying it. I've been like out cruising around in this thing, but Werner Enterprises, we're stepping into another round. All about them grandstands. They're full. All about the points. All about Werner Enterprises, Matco Tools, Royal Purple. Everybody, I'm having a blast. You know what? This is going to be tough. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to step on the gas and try to go to the other end and just count on Mike Clover to pull me through, because I think I pretty well suck today. I ain't done nothing on the tree, but I got to get after it.
Atmosphere's not affecting his mouth at all.
Just his mind. You know, a few years ago, we changed the nitro ratings. They cut them back to 90%. Let's take a look at how they mix it.
So what exactly is this fuel that the top fuel teams use, this nitro stuff, and why do they have to mix it? Well, we're going to talk to Mike Clover, who's the crew chief for the Werner Enterprises team. Mike, why do you guys have to mix with the nitro?
Well, what we do is our nitromethane comes at 90%. That's the standard that we all have to use. You can't run more than 90% nitromethane. So the other 10% is methanol. So what we do is we never run right on 90%. That's a little too close to being at the edge of the rules, and we don't want to get a run thrown out because our nitro was too high. So what we do is our engine combination is based on needing a little less than 90% to be 100% power. So what we do each run is I tell Clay how much alcohol to put in each 5-gallon jug that he pours in the car. And when we do that, we're able to use Ihra's electronic fuel tester after we've mixed our fuel, and we can generally predict within 2 or 3 points of what our nitro percentage will be.
Mike, tell us a little bit about how you mix by volume with the nitro.
Well, Clay actually does all the work. I just look at the computer and say, I think we need a little more or a little less. And what we do is on our beaker, we have different lines set up on here for varying amounts of alcohol that we'll put in each 5-gallon drum or jug of fuel that we put in the car. So this is our secret little tool, and we've got a spare one just like in the trailer in case somebody drops this or knocks it over and breaks it.
If you want to be a member of that crew, they make you drink a little of that nitro. Won't hurt you. They say it tastes like peppermint schnapps. Maybe he's got some in that cooked out lawnmower there.
Yeah, maybe. It's doing some wheel stands like a super stalker. When we come back, more drag racing action. Stay with us.
Fuel, air, power, speed, road courses, street courses, ovals, super speedways, champ cars racing wheel to wheel, turn for turn, lap for lap, combining the precise driving skills of champions and young guns and the extreme power of incredible open-wheel champ cars. Catch the Champ Car World Series all season long on Speed.
Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain.
Chance for you to sound off no matter what kind of racing you like.
Dave's talking motorsports live.
Old Dave here, your big old self-centered TV windbag.
Wind Tunnel, Friday nights at 11, only on Speed.
Every day.
Movie Central has something for everyone in July.
These blokes mean business.
Just look.
Woo!
Plus, Showtime and HBO originals, including The Wire. And be sure to watch for HBO's newest hit series, Carnival, coming in September. Also, be on the lookout for the Movie Central Hot Summer Weekend Sweepstakes. Visit moviecentral.ca for details. This summer, Movie Central guarantees a new hit movie every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Buy a Shaw Digital Terminal for $89.
RA is international.
And you got to love everything about that. We're
stands.
back. The crowd is packed. No question. They are having a great time. The Canadian fans love this stuff. Let's take a look at the ladder here, Jim.
Yeah, we've got Quayne Stott against Harold Martin, and Mitch Stott takes on Ricky D, the pride of Calgary.
And we've got a chance to have our same finals that we had in Richmond with the Stott brothers against each other. But there's two other players that'll have something to say about that first, and Ricky D will be the first one. We'll see how he does here, lined up in round number 3. This is a semifinal round, and he'll go on against Mitch Stott, our current points leader. And Mitch has been a tough man to beat this year.
He is, and we're not being real confident about how far he could go. Rick is doing very, very well. But he's already won something this week. He was chosen the best engineered professional car here this weekend.
Andy McIntosh, a crew chief for Ricky D. Formerly worked with the Colorado Raider, top fuel car. Here we go, reaction time in the right lane. Rick gets out on Mitch. Mitch moves around some, and look at that.
It is upset time.
Talk about an upset, man. Absolutely great job for Ricky D. 079 light, runs 638.2, 222 miles an hour. You know, the last time we saw him was at Scribner in 1994, and he's back in a big way, but look at Mitch just driving his heart out.
Boy, I got to tell you something. This is getting very, very good. You know, he doesn't think he can beat him, but I think he can.
Boy, he's into the finals, no question about it, and a fabulous job. Anytime you can get around Mitch Stott here in 2003, you've done a great job. Looks like Mitch really rattled the tires there at the starting line. We heard Jimmy Rector talk about freeing the car up, and maybe they had a little too much clutch in at that time. Just shook the tires a little too hard. Here we go. Harold Martin is up next. And Harold Martin will take on the other Stott brother. Let's go to the top and talk to Rick with Kathy.
Oh, this is looking to be your weekend. You know, we had folks that were talking about you coming back and exactly what was going to happen.
I don't know. We just keep doing the same thing over and over. I'm trying to do my job. Crew's working the hardest they ever have. Just our weekend, I guess, so far. One more round to go. Hopefully we can do it.
What do you think it's going to take to keep running these numbers with the altitude changing? It's, you know, there's been sunshine on the track all day.
The truth, a lot of luck. For me, anyways. So I can say, just like to thank everybody. Say hi to all my family, my brother, my crew, Andy, Les Davenport. Thanks, everybody, and my wife.
Well, for being so close to home, you could be taking a win home real quick.
Sure be nice. Thanks.
Les Davenport, by the way, the fuel system that he's running on that car, and track temperature up around 120 degrees or so. And speaking of fuel systems, Harold Martin, engineer degree, former GM employee, still does a lot of R&D work for GM and works with a lot of pro street racers with his fuel injection system. He'll take on Quayne Stott. Reaction time very close within 9 thousandths of each other, and the win's going to go to Quayne Stott. Look at that, 6:28.2. That is low ET for the day.
Yeah, and it's only second to his qualifying time. You know, the Pro Mod ET record was reset 8 times during qualifying, and the speed 6 times. So the track is holding the cars well, and these things are going fast.
Boy, just a spectacular looking run over there for Quayne Stott. Quayne will go to his second consecutive final after going out the first 2 races in the first round to his teammate, Paul Athey. Don't go away. We still have the finals in Pro Mod and Top Fuel coming at you.
The Hooter girls of Edmonton are always working for the IHRA.
Definitely more positive coming up the corner.
The reason we race is simple. It's where we get a lot of our best ideas.
Every day, Ameridebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called Ameridebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
Ameridebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
Ameridebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Just call this number, and regardless of your credit, in minutes you can join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called Ameridebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-346-1206. Ameridebt, helping America get out of debt.
He believes the most important job of the day is the one he's doing right now.
that a successful business is built on a foundation of trust, and that any job is only as good as the parts that go into it. So it comes as no surprise that he installs parts that meet the highest standards in the industry. For whatever you drive, trust AC Delco, when the right way is the only way. Look for the locations that feature AC Delco automotive parts.
We're back at Edmonton, Alberta for the Rocky Mountain Nationals presented by GM Goodwrench Service. Of course, it's the Hooters IHRA Drag Racing Series. Don't be confused, even though they always have some very cool monster trucks at these events because, well, the kids love them.
We've got great sportsman racers that come out to our events, and here are the winners. They do a great job as well. The top sportsmen, top dragsters, super stock, Eddie Plazer and Quick Rod, Super Rod and Hot Rod. They get their Ironman. They do a great job. Congratulations to the IHRA Pro-Am winners.
You know, the Summit Super Series is also another way for all the local racers to stay involved, and Jerry Brown is the current track champion for the Summit Super Series.
It would mean everything. Summit's an incredible company, and they've really stepped behind us, and for them to put this kind of money on the line and to provide a program that we can participate in at our local track, it's just incredible.
Racers across North America like Jerry will have a chance, box and no box, to win a $105,000 prize package, the cash with the Summit bonus, a Pontiac Grand Prix, GTP, oh, Jerry says his wife would probably get that, a Rare Morrison Super Series racing engine, a World Championship diamond ring, the IHRA Ironman, and that Ray Price Harley-Davidson Buell Blast. If your track doesn't have the Summit Super Series, call him, ask him why. Here's our point leaders in no box from Milan, English Mountain, Summer Duck, Steve Keller in Wisconsin, Jay Robinson at Lone Star, Bill Cummings Greer, Brian Soretto at Norwalk, Emerald Coast, Eddyville, and San Antonio Raceway. Be a true bracket world champion. Join the Summit Super Series. Call your track. Get involved now.
Quayne Stott has shown that he could qualify well throughout the season, but when it came to race day on Sunday, it didn't always work out well for him until here recently. And this weekend proves to be that way as well. Going into the next round of Pro Modified, he has put the best number out there on the board. But this isn't going to be an easy weekend for anyone in Pro Modified. You still have Mitch Stott, which is Quayne's brother, and DeStefano, who's got a lot more experience racing these cars in this type of atmospheric conditions with the altitude. We're just going to have to find out how tight it's going to be on the top end with Pro Modified.
Stick with us. We'll find out if Quayne can get a win here. Pro Mod Finals coming up.
Mondays on Speed, get inside Winston Cup. Michael, Johnny, Alan, and Kenny recap Sunday's race like no one else.
I wouldn't tell a lot of people that you're thinking like Mike, but I mean, if they like watching the crashes, that's fine with me.
On the track Sunday,
I passed Bill Elliott.
On the air Monday.
Oh, watch this. I was hoping this wouldn't be on tape. It's going to be a drag race. They touch.
Inside Winston Cup, Monday nights at 7, exclusively on Speed.
Check this out. You can get an entire week's worth of racing news in only half an hour. Speed News Saturday. Next, only on Speed.
This is Lisa, a Shaw service expert, and she's going to explain exactly how to use Shaw On Demand in your home, and I'm going to take notes.
Well, turn on your TV and your Shaw digital terminal. Then, using your Shaw internet, visit shawondemand.ca. Access the ever-growing list of movies, and then pick the movie you want based on title, actor, or theme, and then press play and enjoy the movie on your TV.
That's it?
That's it. That's Shaw On Demand.
I don't think anyone's going to need these notes.
Probably not.
Morgan Freeman, Crime, and yeah, enjoy that one too. Very good ending, a very good twist ending there. Yes.
Hey, kid, you didn't pay for that chocolate bar.
What are you talking about?
The chocolate bar I saw you put in your pocket, you didn't pay for it.
Then where on earth did you learn to steal?
But Dad, you steal satellite signals.
13L30, roger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hooters IHRA Drag Racing Series. Yes, that's right. It is the Rocky Mountain Nationals, and we're having a great time here. Time for the Pro Mod Finals. It's going to be Ricky D and Quayne Stott. You know, this is Rick's first IHRA final, and this is Quayne's 13th final. He's won 4 times, which gives him a 33% winning average, and his last one was Leicester, New York, 01, where he lost to Shannon, but his last win, you have to go back to 2000 when he beat his brother, which completed a 3-race win streak, and they were all in nitrous cars.
Absolutely. Let's see what happens. Can the dream go on for Ricky D?
Reaction time's very close here. 11 thousandths is the difference at the starting line. Who's going to get the nod? And it goes to Quayne Stott. 635, 226 miles an hour. Excellent job for Quayne. Back in the winner's circle. First time ever in a blown car.
That's fantastic. It looked like Rick had him to about 1,000 feet. We saw that puff of smoke, and Quayne motors on. Congratulations, Quayne. His 5th IHRA Pro Mod win.
Here's another look here.
Good jump.
Reaction time's not stellar, but both of them very, very close. Playing the game hard, and both cars going right down the middle. I mean, the guys definitely had the tune-up inside of the machines. It was the best man. Oh, look at the smoke there. A little telltale sign out of Rick's car, which cost him the race. Looks like he had a 1,220-foot bullet in it instead of 1,320. Let's go to the top, talk to Quayne.
Well, you were the bridesmaid last weekend, but you're the bride this weekend. He barely nipped you on the tree, and we know you had some problems last round, but you went ahead, you ran it, and you got across the finish line first. Congratulations.
Yeah, she was hurt a little bit, but we didn't quite have time to fix it, but we felt like we'd be all right, and we went ahead and leaned on it, and it was off a little, but we still had enough to make the round. But this race, I've won a lot of drag races in my time, but this one means a lot to me. One reason I can't talk about on TV, but Mitch Stott and Dave Pryor knows what I'm talking about. The other reason is the founder of Lee Boy Paving Equipment, my major sponsor, passed away a few months ago. And this racing season this year is dedicated to memory of B.R. Lee. And his family, I hope they're all watching. Because if it wasn't for him, I would not be racing. Thank you.
Well, we're going to find out what he means about that family feud with Dave and Mitch, and the Stott saga continues. Dude, those Stott boys.
Yeah, Quayne a little emotional there at the end of that interview. I'll tell you, he's almost had to quit drag racing a couple of times, and that's one of the people that's kept him inside there. He's very happy to be drag racing. Mitch Stott still leading in the points here in Pro Modified, but it's Quayne Stott who stepped up right behind him. Al Billis, former points leader, has fallen to the number 4 spot, and Dale Brinsfield will round out the top 10. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Top Fuel. And with more on that, let's go to Kathy.
You know, we were talking earlier today about if anybody could take out Clay Millican, it would be Bruce Litton. See who's going to be going to the final? None other than Bruce Litton and Clay Millican. Now, Bruce ran a very respectable run for the heat, the adjusted altitude that we have that's actually getting worse throughout the day. And it could be Bruce that puts Clay on the trailer and sends him home for the very first time in 2003. You want to find out? You better stick around.
They've raced each other 10 times in the past. Clay's won 9 of them. We'll find out. You can see the crew here for Quayne Stott. Very happy. We've crowned one. Let's crown another when we come back.
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Just call this number, and regardless of your credit, in minutes you can join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called AmeriDebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-346-1206. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
Summit Racing Equipment wants to know, what are you going to build today? We asked Steve Sahaychek to trick out this ratty 69 Camaro. Ready, Steve? Ready. Steve calls Summit toll-free, orders parts, talks with their tech guys. Steve can even order parts online at summitracing.com. Slick. Summit ships in stock parts the day you order. Thousands of parts at Summit's low prices. Way cool, Steve. Were you happy with Summit's fast service and low prices? You bet. Parts, price, service. Summit Racing has the stuff you need to build the stuff you want.
this Sunday on Speed. First at 7:30 a.m. Start your race day with live Formula One action for the French Grand Prix. Then at 12, see the stars of tomorrow today in the Barber Dodge Pro Series from Laguna Seca. And at 3:30, Scott Pruitt looks to extend his points lead when the Trans Am Race Series takes on Cleveland. That's all this Sunday, only on Speed.
This IHRA presentation has been brought to you by Racing Radios, the official radio of the IHRA. Excited fans, a big jug of ice in the back over there. Can't imagine what they were making with that.
Margarita time in Edmonton.
Top Fuel Finals coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Litton and the Lucas Oil Sponsor Machine will line up alongside Clay Millican. Clay Millican has had 3, and as I say, outdo him here will be 4 low ETs of the year so far. He's also had 2 high mile per hours, 23 wins, and 25 finals for a 92% winning average, and his last loss came
at Bud's Creek to Jack Ostrander last September.
And his last loss in a final was at Epping in 2000 to Jim Head, and before that, it was to this man, Bruce Litton, also in 2000 to Rockingham Spring National. So he can lose, he just doesn't do it very often.
He is a machine.
Bruce Litton, of course, also a very, very good drag racer. Has been to 24 finals, but has only won 6 of them for about 25% winning ratio. His last win was at Red River 2001 against Jim Head. This should be a great battle, though. These guys battled each other 9 times in 2002.
9 times in 2002, and Bruce is looking for, maybe 10 will be lucky for Bruce Litton of Indianapolis, Indiana. Oh, Clay got off a little bit late.
Clay loses some cylinders, and the win will go
It goes to Bruce Litton.
How about that? Great job for Bruce Litton. You can see his crew very happy as well. And in fact, if you take a look at the mile an hour, you see that Clay Millican was falling off at 283 miles an hour. He was 251 at half track. The car was marching pretty good, but started losing some cylinders, and then Bruce Litton drove on by. But really the key factor is the reaction time. An 0.25 light for Bruce Litton. Man, that's taking a shot at it. Clay Millican at a .137 reaction time. Gave up a bunch right at the hit.
All of Litton's victories against Clay have come on hole shots, something that Clay is not real proud of.
Well, there's only been 2 of them now, including this one, so.
Oh, what a final.
Boy, I'll tell you, you can see right there, look at the right bank, you can see the raw fuel coming out of Millican's car, then the left bank, definitely losing cylinders, but it doesn't matter. Bruce Litton will take it any way he can get it. Congratulations to him. Let's go to the top with Bruce Litton.
Bruce Litton, this is huge. What a way to be on the starting line. Did you actually go in a little deep?
Yeah, I went in a little deep. I didn't really plan on going in that deep, but that's just the way it worked out. And give the credit to the Lord Jesus Christ. We really stuck in. We've had some great luck today, and it takes a lot of racing luck. And hey, Clay's a great team. They always have been here the last couple of years, and we keep on chasing after them. But the Lord shined on us today, and we feel very fortunate.
Well, it was a spectacular run. Now, you ran at 91, probably by going in a little deep. You think that took some of your time off?
Yeah, I've already been talked to by my crew chief. I robbed him. But we'll take it. Thanks to Lucas and United and Spectre One and Stoops Freightliner, and we got a Canadian sponsor this week, Global Power, and I thank you for everybody that steps on this car, because without them on the car, we couldn't run the car. And hey, my guys worked hard today. We feel very fortunate, and we just can't kiss. We're just elated. That's all you can say.
Well, you definitely deserve it. Glad to see you down here. Congratulations on your first win of 2003.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great man, the IHRA Sportsman of the Year. He won that off the track. He's just a great guy. Congratulations to Bruce Litton.
We'll take a look at the points here. Doug, Mike, Eric, Randy, Glenn, Mike, and Eddie, the truck driver, all the crew members for Bruce Litton as he catapults himself up to the number 2 spot. Of course, everybody's still chasing Clay Millican, and Louis Allison will round out the top 10. Jack Ostrander, his team partner, in the number 6 spot. Hey, we've got more action. Who is it? Clay Millican. It's always exciting to talk to.
It was a spectacular final to see you and Bruce racing like you have been in the conditions this weekend, and ran an 87, which is still a great number for what we've had to deal with.
Well, I tell you what, I absolutely dropped the ball. Bruce did his job, and you know, he deserves to win. He spanked my tail on the tree up there, and you know what? I got caught with my shorts down. I seen him turning the top light out, flickering the bulb, and distracted me. That's all it needed. But I kept telling you my lights sucked all day, so I just wasn't on it today. My crew guys, my team, they did their job. I let them down, and I'll go back to the trailer and cry about it. I mean, there's nothing I can do, but I promise you that I'll be home with that bracket car out.
Hey, our next race is going to be the Motor City Nationals, Mile and Dragway, Detroit, Michigan, July 11th, 12th, and 13th. And if you can't join us, you can always watch it right here on Speed, August 2nd at 11 p.m., August 16th at 6 p.m. For more information, you can log on to Speed TV and link over to IHRA. Congratulations to our winners, Bruce Litton and Quayne Stott. The points battle is hot and heavy. For Jim Martinson and Kathy Fisher, I'm Ken Staub. We'll see you at Milan.
Nitromaniac TV's Drag Files, taking you trackside where an admission pass won't. Subscribe today for the best in modern and archival drag racing content. Plus, coming soon, join Kellen Nitro as he takes a look at the classic races that make up drag racing history in the Retro Race Review. Subscribe today at tinyurl.com/dragfiles.